going on? Want to discuss another kind of like overlapping topic here. It's this topic of or concept of duping delight. Duping delight is kind of like these telegraphs, these odd telltales. Like I think it's called kinesics, is the study of body language. In other words, it's kind of like there's these micro expressions. Professionals use a computer to slow down things and pause on persons' facial gestures when they're talking, and it's kind of can be like a lie detector of sorts, or you're trying to like dig out deeper information like emotional data. And also you can add in NLP to the which side of the eyes do they look to, up, down. And I've used this on people, like some of the people that I've had these events with anyway. And look, they don't like it because it's like it does reveal things when you start to really like when they know you're analyzing them like that, they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Freaking because it's like because it's like they're duping. Isn't so easy to do. So it's like, look, they don't like it. Like they hate that. They hate that. You know, they'll go on to weaker prey, or someone that these kind of like tactics freaking still work on. Anyway, there's been times where like someone was gaslighting me. We was arguing, and it was like I was kind of like stuck in this kind of just defending myself and like coming up with all my facts and like my defense, but it wasn't getting me nowhere. And it was like, because I was just going through the motions, man, and I was so caught up in the defense that there was times where I would notice the other person, like all of a sudden they would have this look of delight, of joy in their face, in their countenance, as they were freaking having this argument, where I realized it was like, wait, man, and it wasn't even about what we was originally arguing about anymore. And it's like they like to see you really worked up, and like you really perturbed, and really like thinking, what the, like WTF, and just like, look, that your mood's totally been and you're like, look, that's why a lot of the times when these things, such times happened, I was busy doing something, and I was like tuning up in myself in a way, or I was like focused on something else, and I was really tuned into it. And seems like they would hit you like T-bone, bam, like right when you was doing this, freaking, because somehow they're aware of when you're vulnerable and your guard's down because you're busy doing something else. And it was like their timing is impeccable for picking the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it is. It's just a way to pick a fight, because you get a dose of adrenaline from yelling and look, swatting at a gnat to swallow a camel. Like, look, you needed to like crazy making, basically, dude. And every so often I would catch that look of duping delight, like where I'm all fucking like really like all on freaking like totally like thought this was legit, and I was actually talking to someone, trying to reason with somebody or whatever, and it was like that wasn't their goal at all. It was just to vamp me or and swat me. Like, look, a vamp is like, look, when someone like, because now they get an adrenaline rush and then they feel justified or whatever, dude. And if this person's delusional, or just totally self-absorbed, it's like really, and they're unpleasable, and that wasn't, and they just wanted an issue. So it was a good time to justify it, and they've already had a pre-manufactured freaking like argument that's another thing, like, you know, and it's like, so, and because these people are getting this kind of sadistic joy, like, in a way, it is sadistic. It's like, look, when you look at them and you see them, like they're really looking fucking crazy, like they're really going savage, like, look, and it's not even justified, or it's not even necessary. This will be about over something really small and petty, but it just got blown up and just like snowballed. And like the Tasmanian devil, it was just this little cloud, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and like more stuff is getting pulled into it and thrown about. It's like it's like that is getting duped, and they get freaking like literally like joy out of this, and especially because in a way, if there's an audience, they they like to do this to you in front of the audience, like punish you, abuse you, or like, look, uh, and some even use the audience as this kind of like proxy, like freaking flying monkey, and in these fucking, anyway, man, and then it's like you can see that it's like, look, man, it's just freaking, it was just some game to get freaking supply and swap, man, and like vamp and self-regulate, like this emotion of I'm not, I have no control over anything. So right now, what is in my control is I'm gonna make your fucking life miserable for like 4.5 minutes, and then I'm gonna freaking feel all cool and freaking like my adrenaline's all going, and like you know, my ego's all freaking like you know like fed, and someone else has you know, felt my wrath, man, because I'm so freaking important, right? uh it's kind of that's one way you can, that's one thing you look for, and it's the delight, and it's like they enjoy it too much, and then you know it's like something else is going on. It's not even about what they're fighting about or arguing about, that it's freaking just a game, man, that these people do sometimes, man. And the duping delight comes from the people on the internet known as crisis actors, man. And I've seen them, and it's so true. It's like sometimes a person will give a telegraph of like the Joker, and they'll give a smiley face after they, like, my daughter was just freaking shot by a stray bullet, and then freaking look, and then they'll start crying, and then and they'll be like, oh, I mean, they'll just say stuff. Their telegraphs are off with what they're saying, and look, and they just give themselves away, and it's like basically they're acting, and they know it, and they can't help but kind of like gloat, and like give these faces of like these really like trickster. It's like a child who's like telling you a story that they know they're making up from their imagination, and they got this kind of like smile on their face because they're getting a thrill off duping you, and you pretend like you believe them, and like, yeah, I see the fairies too. Look, the kid feels validated, so they smile because it makes them feel good when they're children, right? Well, arrested development happens, man. People don't feel very important. They're dorks, losers. So if somebody gives them an option to kind of be like like uh, like 15 seconds of fame by being a crisis actor. Look, dude, they're gonna try. I mean, just because they're narcs, man, and that's how they operate. And that's an awesome way to get supply, even if it's fake. Like, look, listen, to hoax somebody to something and be like semi-famous, it's still narcissistic supply. You'd feel like you'd feel really like cool. So, and that's sometimes the petty motivation behind what these. It's just as much as an atrocity as someone to die as it is to someone to pretend someone died and lie about it and try Not even with the straight face, like literally to telegraph you're fucking lying, man. This is a freaking joke. And and look, you'll pass that off. You'll try to pass that off as real. That is duping, and they can't help but their continence gives them away, man. Freaking, and it's weird, but it'll happen in a narcissistic relationship and just a freaking argument sometimes. Freaking, and uh, also freaking people of authority do it. Freaking, there's a lot of people who give away telegraphs in their body language and their facial micro expressions, and a lot of the times, man, like, look, it's obvious what's going on. Like, look, you can see all these telegraphs of duping, and it's like with these SHTF extractions and distractions. That's duping, man. These predictive programmings on TV and in movies and stuff. That's duping people, man. This the fake history, man. The rewriting of history and the way they teach people about stuff. Duping, man. They're duping people and making 2 plus 2 equals 5, and the snow is black, basically. And that's why and it's also, look, it's demoralizing to the people who can see it, and to the people who don't, like, see the dupings. It's sad, and it's demoralizing. So that's the reason why they kind of do these dupes, is because it's a mocking, and it's like, look, it's like overkill in a way, and it's like it's weird, man, because it's like it's proven, man. It's like you can. There was crisis actor websites, like, this isn't just made up. This is legit, and you'll see them really used in all kinds of operations. I mean, and they'll tell on themselves, and they'll say things like, "This was a drill," and I mean, and even with this thing, that there was a drill going on about a pandemic, and I mean, a week before all this, like in October of 2019. I mean, that's duping, man. Delight. Like Bill Gates, you see him smiling all the time because it's duping delight. Because, I mean, his company already patented this virus 3 years ago, coronavirus. And I mean, it's just out there, public record. People can just look it up. There it is. And these people are just freaking duping us, man. And it's messed up that they're trying to make us YouTubers live up to a standard that they themselves, the real media, does not live up to, in a way. And that's really hypocritical, man. They should be of more higher standard. It's like they should be of the high standards. I mean, we're just regular people, man. And sometimes, we get duped. And it's like, but the difference is, when you're not aware you're being duped, you don't get the duping delight. But the manipulator dupers get a ego trip out of it, and they can't help but, it's just freaking their arrogance, man. Is just it's bleeding out of them, man. That you're like, look, thou shalt not bear false witness. That is like a serious like sin, like to just straight up lie about somebody, or something, get paid to lie, is a very highly frowned upon thing, with cause. Because look, you have a world where they can just dupe us, and with no accountability, and if we call them on it, man, like they get really mad, and then they get to lie about us, man, and dupe people, man, freaking again. And it's not funny to be duped. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's really sad and sickening to see this. It's childish, man. It's like I said, it's like the children when they're smiling, when you agree with them, when they're telling you like imaginative story. I mean, that's what Arrested Development.